right, let's spend 5 good minutes on something that it seems our government doesn't want to talk about. 30 million adults in the United States currently have long COVID. And that number has to be wrong because most people aren't getting any advice about what to look for or what could be long COVID. But of the people who figure it out, or someone figures it out for them, 80% of them are having trouble just doing everyday things. So it's not like there's some subtle distinction before and after they had COVID. And I know this because I'm living it. So we got to do something about it. And it begins with at least addressing its existence. What is it? How long will it last? How bad can it be? Who's doing anything about it? That brings us to our guest, doctor, scientist, and medical director of the Angiogenesis Foundation, Dr. William Lee. Now, full transparency, I burn up Will Lee's phone all the time. We have been talking for a long time about this, and that's why I have such confidence in his credibility, because I know he's been studying this and paying attention to it in a way few are. So, Doc, thank you for being with me on the new show.
Thank you for inviting me, and congratulations on the new show.
Appreciate you. Now, first, the simple reality. Is there any chance that long COVID is just some mushy excuse for people wanting to say that they have bad things and phantom illnesses?
Absolutely not. I mean, the COVID is a new human disease. We are so far from where we were in the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, but it's not over. And the actual part of the pandemic that is worthy of looking at is the long-term effects of infection, which is called long COVID. This is a mysterious condition that is up to more than 100 different symptoms. We don't even have a good definition of it. However, it qualifies you if you have it for the American Disabilities Act. So it is disabling.
So what worries you most?
The lack of understanding of this, number one. Number two, the fact that the message that's being sent out is largely the pandemic is over, which is what people want to hear, and yet it's not. And what we have to do is not focus on the acute infection, which for the vaccinated and the boosted and the cautious people is not going to be very severe for most people. But 1 out of 3 people, anywhere from 10 to 30% of people, could get long COVID, and we don't know who. That's the problem.
Now, one of the things that you believe you've isolated is huge increases in diabetes in adolescents, 60 to 70% more at risk for heart issues, and that you have seen brain shrinkage. Explain.
Right. So we are actually really trying to lean in and understand this other dimension of the pandemic, which is if you're infected, if you haven't been able to quite get over it, or you have these weird, unusual symptoms, what is actually going on? We know that COVID infects your respiratory tree, but it also affects your circulation. We know it causes autoimmunity and chronic inflammation, and we know it can affect your nerves as well. What is the outcome? The outcome of this, as we're now going into almost 3 years of this, we're seeing in young people an increased incidence of diabetes, type 1 and type 2 new onset. Number two, we're seeing in people who are middle-aged having a higher risk of developing serious, including fatal cardiovascular disease, rhythm problems, heart attacks, blood clots, and strokes. And then finally, in the over 65, the new onset of Alzheimer's disease is actually strikingly high, about 50% higher than what we'd expect new onset, not worsening.
A lot of people, and I'm sure you're hearing this, and again, I am unique, right? I had kind of created myself as a beacon for people in the COVID community. I have them reach out to me on social media all the time. And one of the common things is, my doctor says not to worry about it. My doctor says, there's really no proof of this. My doctor says it's probably not related. Is part of this problem that doctors don't know what they're talking about?
Yeah, I think the medical community is still playing catch up when it comes to COVID. You got to remember, at the very beginning of the pandemic, when it was, really a crisis, the doctors were all gathered in the emergency room and the intensive care unit, and everyone else stopped seeing patients or did video visits for patients. What's happening now is that doctors are getting back into the game, and we now have to confront the fact that there are a certain percentage, less than half, but certainly not rare, people that have a spectrum of conditions. And I actually take care of some people that are seriously debilitated. Their lives, they say that their lives are actually ruined. And so for me as a researcher, I'm interested in finding out what is going underneath. How can we predict who's actually at risk for developing it? And of course, what do we do to try to help people overcome the suffering?
And you've told me you could be asymptomatic, still have long COVID. You could have been vaccinated, still have long COVID. And the idea, the president may say the pandemic's over, but the idea that COVID is gone, we'll keep seeing variants, we'll see what's happening this winter. Who knows where it goes. But I do know this, you'll be working on it, and you are always welcome here to talk about the latest. Dr. William Li, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, take care.